What is up? What's up? What's up? What's up? How's everybody doing? Just wanting to say hi, see how you going. We got game 6 going on. Trying to keep up with the Sports Spirit Saturday night, seeing how that goes. Hopefully we see some folks in the show. Tonight we're going to talk about the Eastern Conference Finals a little bit as it's going on. 1-0 Tampa Bay through 2. I thought they got lucky with the goal, but the Rangers haven't really done anything. They look kind of beat up, so we'll see how that goes. Hope everybody is having a great Saturday night and not too hot. I see the U.S. is getting hammered with heat wave. Super hot weather. It's actually kind of chill here, not real hot right now. So tonight I wanted to do something a little different because I couldn't get a guest. I usually want to try to get a guest or two. So I'm just gonna drop in the call link, and if people want to call in, I'd love to have you on the show. If we don't get anybody, we don't get anybody on, no big deal. Because I've been doing the interview format, so I think a lot of people might be like, oh, we're not going to take callers. But I put the link in the chat. If you want to click in and call, that'd be great. It's a lot tougher to do a show by yourself because you can't get the break. So just wanting to do that. Got to push the New York Rangers for the wife. So we put up the Henrik Lundqvist digital signature one. You know, those are pretty cool. And I think it's got the 90-year patch repping the USA Hockey 75th year. That was from 2012. They're repping their 85 years. Shout out 85 years USA Hockey. So that is awesome. I don't know exactly when their anniversary is, if they're going to celebrate that or whatnot. Here, let me see. I don't know why we're getting this. Camera. Okay. Is it under the virtual background? Why is it cutting this? And this makes no sense. Okay. That's where it is. Yep. We don't need that. Okay. We don't need that. All right. There we go. Okay. So also I wanted to talk a little bit about the Bruins firing Bruce Cassidy and Bergeron winning his 5th Selke. I think that's the most of all time. And we're going to talk a little fun, man. We're going to talk favorite movies. I was able to get away and do something. So we went and saw Top Gun Maverick the other day, and I can highly recommend Top Gun Maverick. Awesome movie. Really liked it. Just go enjoy it. Don't worry about what the movie is trying to say. It's just trying to say it's a movie. I sometimes wonder why people just can't enjoy stuff anymore, you know. And don't have to read. Look, not every movie is Howard's End. Not every movie has to have a secret message or hidden message or anything like that. So that's all I'll say. And just keep doing the grind, man. Just kind of keep doing the grind and hope we get some people in the chat and stuff like that. That'd be great. So I was going to put it out on YouTube here. I don't know. It's Safari. Okay, yeah. Okay. Let's move that over here. Okay. And all right. Well, where's my... Okay, where's my movie list? Okay, where's my movie list? Where'd my movie list go? Okay, sorry guys. Little technical problem here. Lost my movie list. Made a little slideshow for y'all. I'll try to find that. I don't know what happened there. But that'll give us a little bit of action here. We just want to see what's going on. Let's see. So the game is in its intermission right now. We're talking it's between the second and third period. This is kind of do or die for the New York Rangers. They are in the thrills of probably losing. They need to get a goal and another to force Game 7 and go back to the Madison Square Garden to do that. The last team to lose in the Eastern Conference Finals with a 3-2 lead. I'm going to do some trivia and give away something. So if we get anybody that answers it in the comments or on the live stream, I'm thinking about doing a drawing, and we're going to give some cool stuff away. So let me figure out what happened to my thing here. And let's see. Oh, yeah, I got the cup out on the league. Let me figure out what happened to my little feedback there. Apologize. We have no viewers. So we'll see. Hopefully we get some people in. Been doing the grind, man. Been doing the Shakedown Sports podcast. A little bit on a hiatus on Wrestling on the Rocks. Wrestling on the Rocks is continuing to crank away good products. So keep watching Wrestle on the Rocks. It's just gonna be I'll be off for the summer. Too nice in Alaska to do too much online, but that's probably where most of you are is the summer. Is the Stanley Cup Finals too late? It sure feels like the Stanley Cup. It sure feels like the Stanley Cup Finals is a late. And I know they had the Olympic break this year, so nothing would have changed. Then they didn't send NHL players to the Olympics. I kind of wish they would have adjusted the schedule a little bit. But to me, the first week of June, the Stanley Cup needs to be on. And ideally, the last week of May, because you want it to be over before school's out. Because when fun's out, guns out, sun's out, you just want to do fun stuff. So I totally get it. All right. So we're 10 minutes in and we're back into I'm sorry, guys. I said that the game wasn't on. It's 18:30 in the third period. 1-0 Tampa Bay. Vasilevsky has 6 shutouts and series clinching wins. It's funny though. They, Tampa Bay lost to the Caps in 2018. And they were up 3-2, and I think the Caps shut them out. I just feel like the Rangers are dinged up enough that they just didn't get the guys back that they needed. They desperate, and I thought they needed something, but Vetrano and Kopp filled a nice role for them, and now it looks like wow, we're not seeing much from them this series. And I don't know if that's just a testament to how good Tampa Bay is or, this, that, or the other. So here we go. Click the link if you want to come in and I'll take some calls. We can talk about the game. It's 18. I got 18-12. You guys are probably a little bit ahead of me. 1-0 or round 18. Drop a comment, drop a like. I just got to find my... Where did it go? Where is my... Did I lose it? Okay, there we go. I got it. Okay. Whew. All right. So we'll just see how this shapes out. And then hopefully someone comes in and talks. It's not a live stream. It's not supposed to be play-by-play. It's just supposed to be this. Again, I thought when I started this show that I wouldn't be up against the NHL. I thought 10 Eastern was a good time because usually these games are over, series are over by this time of year. So I'm going to stick with the Saturday night schedule, and we're going to try to mix it up. But I definitely want comments and, stuff from the fans. So, that's a trip or a high stick or something. Ooh, Hedel took a high stick. Oh, yep, delayed penalty. And Tampa touches it up. So I think the guy who took the penalty made sure they didn't get any extra. Corey Perry, 10. Let's see. I don't know. Now guys react when they get hit in the face like they got shot. So like, but he definitely was hit with a high stick. So I think it was Philip Heedle. I can't tell because Philip Heedle. 2 minutes, I think. 2 minute high stick, no double minor or anything. Corey Perry. Anyway, so NYR are on the power play. Yeah, he just chopped them. He just chopped them. I don't, just kind of careless. We'll see. Yeah, we'll see. Um, yeah, just chime in or click the link if we got anybody. And then I wanted to talk about favorite movies, but while we got hockey on, the Boston Bruins, part of it's Bruce Cassidy, also former Capitals coach. I knew he was with the organization like 15 years. I didn't realize he came up through the ranks there. I know he coached for the Capitals a while back. I heard he is not liked by the players, and I've heard that Krejci left because of him. I heard Bergeron was considering not coming back because of him. Now maybe he does come back. I don't know. I mean, Bergeron has played 18 years. Like, guys, Hall of Famer. I mean, I was talking with John Duncan, talking with the Seattle Kraken, Emerald City hockey guys. You definitely could rename the Selke to the Bergeron at this point. I think a lot of people wouldn't complain. I know the hockey purists and stuff would. The Rangers don't look great on this power play, having a little problems in the neutral zone. I think Tampa Bay just knows when to step it up. They just play smart hockey, and they force you to make mistakes. And if you're not playing great, Kreider can't even get the puck in. Their power play does not look great to start this. They've already killed like a minute 15. If the goalie doesn't have to face any shots, looks like Cernak went into the locker room, though. I don't know if I've seen Hedman back. I think he is back. I'm going to guess he's playing. I know he had to go in. If they don't have Cernak or Hedman, I hate to tell you, they don't have a prayer against Colorado. Because those guys are good. Ooh, wow, what a play. The Rangers finally get a shot off late in, and they get a decent scoring chance. I think it went wide on the short side. Pretty good stuff. Definitely watch me if you want to watch somebody who's like an hour behind the game. But really what I wanted to talk about tonight, as we're going, is just like some of my favorite movies of all time, and just talk about how, what their impact was and kind of where I thought about that. Ooh, man. Stamkos had another. I got to say, Stamkos, the first goal, the only goal of the game, I think he should have had it. I don't know where you guys are on that one. So, but 15 minutes left to go, and we could be seeing the New York Rangers holding home. Oh, that was a block shot by Cernak. He might have broke his hand on that one because that hit him right in the hand. Oh, yeah. If he went to the locker room, he might have a broken hand. Ouch, Bay. Yep. I mean, it wasn't one of those he laid down for the shot. Zibanejad shot it up into him, and he was a ways away. I mean, it was a great position by him. I think defensemen now do a great job in the NHL and all that. So, yeah. So, yep. Also catch me Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, coordinating, producing for the Shakedown Sports Podcast. Shout out Shakedown Sports Podcast. So anyway, and well, let's just talk about. So this could be a short show, guys, because I didn't get anybody in. We didn't get a guest. Nobody wanted to come, so I think we're gonna have a nice half hour. So. Real quick, raise your hand if you like movies. I worked in a movie store, wanted to be in movies after I retired from the military. So let's see what we got here. Gonna do my favorite movies of all time. Okay. All right. So let's see if it goes. Is this gonna let me go full screen? Okay, this is good enough. Okay. We're just going to go with this. All right. So Empire Strikes Back. Easily the best Star Wars movie ever made. Rogue One's pretty good. I really like that movie. For a new movie, it was one of the better movies. I don't know. What do you guys think? Leave a comment in the chat. Big Lebowski. Just a great movie about nothing. I loved it because this guy who had nothing going on had all this stuff going on. I think it will always be my favorite Coen Brothers movie. It's got enough violence in it that it's funny, but it's funny violence. It's almost slapstick violence, but it's kind of real violence too. But it's just a odd movie with a lot of odd things and great characters, like super awesome character actors, as the Coen Brothers always do. So, okay, True Romance, Tony Scott. Ridley Scott totally can make a flick and comes from that stock. Everybody, Ridley Scott made Aliens and Gladiator and stuff like that. So this movie was written by Quentin Tarantino, and it was one of his first films I think he wrote on, and I love this movie. It's a great movie. It's got some of the best scenes. If you could tell me who Val Kilmer is in the movie, shout out Iceman. If you watch Top Gun Maverick, so awesome. Don't want to give any spoilers for Top Gun Maverick because it hasn't been out that long. Okay, The Parent Trap. So we're going a little bit PG here because in case some kids are watching, look, this is an old movie. The Parent Trap 2 is a good movie too. Like it's on this thing because it's got Lindsay Lohan when she was very young. But this one with Haley Mills, the original Parent Trap with Maureen O'Hara and Brian Keith, is just a great movie. And it's like so wholesome and just good and kind of reminds you of a different time in our past where how people acted and how they got their entertainment. So it's just one of those things I enjoy. Okay. And then let's throw another Disney one in there. It's just one of my favorites. I think it's one of the most underrated movies of all time. It's got cartoons in it. I think it's from the 70s. It's got Angela Lansbury. It's got David Tomlinson. You might know David Tomlinson. He was the dad in Mary Poppins, the original Mary Poppins, with Julie Andrews, the good one with Julie Andrews and Dick Van Dyke. The new one was fine. I didn't hate it. I just, I feel like the reason some of those old movies are so good is feels like there's a soul in them. So, yeah, anyway. And then gotta go one with my boy Kevin Smith, Mallrats. Great movie, man. So really looking forward to having some conversations about these. And I might bring them back. I'm going to run them back, I think. So we'll see. But I just wanted to kind of mix it up because I saw two great movies. I saw the Adam Sandler Hustle movie. I really enjoyed that. I can highly recommend it. I'm not the biggest NBA fan now. Just not because I don't like basketball. I like basketball. I played intramurals. My wife wants a basketball court. We love it. I like playing and I enjoy the game and I love watching it. Just the NBA is boring to me now, So we'll see. Anyway, still looking at 1-0 and a quick update of the hockey game. Probably gonna call it at a half hour today just because we're not seeing a lot of people come in and chat. But please leave a like, subscribe, turn on noties. I'm only going to go live Saturdays at 10 p.m. Eastern. That's the plan. I'm going to go through the Stanley Cup Finals, and that's going to be the benchmark for me, the hockey season. And then I'm going to take the summers off, like the players do. Hockey being the primary sport I want to cover doesn't mean I won't talk football or basketball or any of the other stuff. And entertainment. Like I want to do a little mixture of both and stuff like that. We can't talk music because, I don't want to get kicked off YouTube for doing a copyright thing. And, how can you talk about music if you can't listen to the song? So, but yeah, so anyway, just kind of, if anybody wants to chat, come on in, click the link. I'll drop it in the chat one more time. And you can come on the show and you can ask questions. You can talk about the movie list. talk about the NHL finals. You can talk about whatever. Let me go. There we go. Sorry. And we want to, yeah, I don't want to quit. I just want to. Okay. All right. Yeah, and now I'll minimize. Okay, cool. All right. So let's share this real quick. Apologies. I should have all this up. Come on. 10:56 to go. Still 1-0. Time is slipping away from the Rangers. Let's see. And I'm dropping in. Okay. All right. So there we go. Yep. 10. I got 10:25. Let me do one more thing, guys. Sorry, I apologize. Sorry for all the technical delays. You know, the guys that do this all the time make it look so easy. There we go. I tweeted out the link. That's a first. So we'll just see. Yep, looks like the Rangers are just announced that Strome won't return. That is not a good sign. They are already hurting up the middle. They got to do, and I don't think Panarin's healthy either. He doesn't look 100%. Tough for a guy that size, you know, into the playoffs when they just let so much of the physicality go. So really feel bad for the Ranger fans, man, because you know, I think they thought they had a pretty good team, and I exactly picked this final. I picked Tampa, Colorado, if that's what we ultimately get. The only series I got wrong were Boston and Carolina, and not because I didn't believe Carolina was a good team. Totally believed they were a good team. Just thought with their goaltending issue, with Anderson not being in there, I wasn't sure about Ronta because just in the past he hadn't had good numbers in the playoffs. But I actually liked Ronta, and I liked his game at the end of the year. And boy, he played excellent in the playoffs. And they could have easily beat New York. I just thought what New York lacked, so did Carolina up front anyway. So, you know, we'll see. And then oh wow. Killorn almost ran one through. You know, I gotta say too, guys. I was telling my wife, Keandre Miller, super impressive. You know what I'm saying? I really was. You know, he's playing top line minutes. I think Adam Fox must be down a little bit too. He's on the ice too, but if he didn't start, I don't know. And you know, I know he's a little bit more of an offensive defenseman. Lafreniere just made a nice move. That's a penalty. Yeah, that's a penalty. Stamkos just took a penalty, and it was all because Lafreniere made a nice move. So delayed penalty with 8:35 to go. Rangers still have the puck though, so they got the goalie out, so they're getting a little bit of extra time. Not able to keep it in the zone as Adam Fox, but they're going to get at least one more offensive scoring chance out of this, so that's pretty good. I really like watching Adam Fox play. I had him on my fantasy team. Won the fantasy this year. And finally, Corey Perry touched it up. Was a huge fan of the Cop pickups and the Vetrano picks up. I'm just gonna post that. Click the link above in the chat, the StreamYard link, if you want to come on the show. Would love to have anybody on, talk about anything you want to talk about for the next 25 minutes or such. this commercial. I don't know. This guy looks like Wes Craven to me. Anybody know who Wes Craven is? Okay. So, again, you can find me on Twitch, Twitter, and YouTube. I always forget, man, if we got people watching on Twitter, they can't comment. So unless they come in and click the link, I don't even know that they're here. Leave a like, please subscribe, click on the noties. Hopefully we get enough where we can start. Once we get 1,000 fans, we can monetize. And all I want to do with monetizing is I'll create a membership where I put out a newsletter and we have some merch. And everybody that becomes a member gets like a free t-shirt or something. And I'll have to do stipulations because I know people can become a member and then unsubscribe in 2 minutes. But they're wearing your shirt, so they're promoting your stuff too. So that's cool, right? And I always want to shout out guys, shout out Off the Wall Hockey. He's streaming right now. Because the Stanley Cup is still going on, and he's doing an excellent job in his stream right now. Shout out Isles Girl 3 guest to the Sports Beard, first ever official guest. Shout out Ryan Tubeck, aka Raybro, first actual guest on this show. Just great about NHL scouting and stuff. Spends a lot of time on that. Shout out my boy Hot Take Hockey, John Viveros. What a great guy. Wouldn't have a single subscriber if it wasn't for him. And I hope he's having an awesome summer. And he's a guy. He's a great dude. Really want to shout out the boys from Emerald City Hockey. Please check them out. They are awesome. I'm working on some other guests. This show, I want to get big name guests. I'm not going to stop till I get guys like Pat McAfee, Coach Jason Brown, I want actors. I want to keep this going. Because I think it's a cool format where you can talk sports with a famous person. So I want to do it as more of an interview show. And some interaction with the fans, be like, hey, we appreciate you. We love you coming in and checking it out. And the merch stuff will be cool when we do it. So just getting started, man. We're just getting started. We're just going to try to do more and more. I want to do like PlayStation 5 giveaway or something like that. We're going to figure it out. We're years from that. Maybe it's PlayStation 6 by the time I get to it. So, wow, looks like Nick Paul just had a great scoring chance on the New York Rangers power play. We might have a 2-on-1, Kreider and Panarin. And Kreider's waiting for the numbers. I sometimes wish, guys, they would just take the chance. So we're at 7:03, still 1 minute to go, about 47 seconds on the power play. For me, again, I use Hulu. Zibanejad had a nice shot, but I think Vasilevsky wrote it the whole way. I mean, everybody does that now. Kind of power play that it's kind of that same thing. So we'll see. I'm hearing some crazy audio. I think we might have had a Rangers goal because I'm a little tad behind you guys. I might be off. I think I'm off, guys. I'm off. I'm way off. Oh, man, I was way off. I think maybe we got the New York Rangers tying the game. Did the Rangers tie the game? I don't know. Oh, no. Did the Rangers tie the game? I have no idea because my thing went blank, but my wife is watching it in the other room, so I think they did tie. I think they did tie. And yeah, this is BS. I'm going to have to get out of this. Oh, God. Just before I got it back, Tampa Bay has already gone up. So Tampa Bay's up 2-1 in 6:32. Oh, wow. So he makes up for the penalty he took. I missed the goal. So, all righty. Yeah, I haven't seen anything from the. I haven't even. They're just showing the crowd. There's not showing a. There's not showing any of the replays. Dude, ESP. I gotta say, man. Like I have to say to the fans out there, and you just throw it in the comments. I'm gonna actually go back and look at this one because we haven't had anybody in the live stream. But I really enjoyed TNT's broadcast, and I love Ray Ferraro, and I Sean McDonough's great. Like the play-by-play and the that stuff is fine. Everything else has been not great, and I'm just talking about the production side. Like what? Like I'm watching right now. All it is the ice cast, which it's like, okay, well, I don't want to see this. Like, show me a replay. Like, I don't want to see the ice cast. What's going on? I've seen nothing. I have not seen a thing. They're just going around like I do not know what's going on. They must be looking at this goal or something, but and then dude, I do not know what's going on at ESPN's feed. I've yet to see a replay. So I don't know. I didn't see the Rangers goal and I didn't see the go-ahead goal by Stamkos. I hear Ray Ferraro talking very loud in the other room, but I do not hear and now I got Biz tweeting it's tie game. So did the Rangers go back and just tie it right back up? And then he just said, well, then what just happened? Okay, so maybe he's like tie game, and then what happened? Okay, Panarin bets it down in the corners of Benajad. I do not know what's going on. This camera, guys, I don't know if you're getting this camera view. If it's the Ice Cast camera view, I don't know. Am I on the wrong thing? I do not know what's going on. Here, let's go live guide. Oh, Ice Cast. Oh my God, guys. Ice Cast. That's what I'm on. I think they had the Ice Cast. Whoa, that was awful. Hey, guys, go to the game with none of the amenities of the game. Wow. So Rangers have to get a goal. They're down 2-1. So I was watching the Ice Cast. Apologies to ESPN. I didn't badmouth them too bad, but I was like, whoa, this is dude, what? I mean, it's just you're seeing the crowd. I mean, I guess if you got a kick-ass sound system and a giant TV, like giant. I think, did they just score? Joe Accord from OKC is on the show. I think Joe's going to let us know what's going on. Hey, Joe, what's going on? How are you doing?
Hey, sorry, it's really black, man. It's pretty dark here.
Yeah, how are you doing, Joe? Nice to see you, buddy. Haven't seen you at JB.
Yeah, I got a lot of stuff going on and stuff like that. Hey, dude, so I just realized that just started looking at your show and started listening to the show and stuff like that. You're killing it, bro.
Thank you, buddy. Yeah, I kept getting people to tell me, do a show. Well, I do. I have a show. I've had a show. I just was trying to figure out. So I stepped away from it. I was trying to figure out a format I wanted to do. It's something I would enjoy doing. So I'm trying to do kind of not like a variety show, and not like a Jimmy Kimmel where I tell jokes type show, but a show where I get to talk to people. Like I can have people on the show like you, cool guys, where you call in and you say like, what's going? Hey, by the way, how is it in Oklahoma City right now? Is it hot or?
Yeah, it's getting warmer, dude.
Dude, I saw it was like super record breaking. We had serious heat here. Like we're in the 70s, which is probably like 90s for you. Yeah. And people are like, what are you talking about? Well, you come here and we're so close to the sun. We have, 18, 19-hour days now. So it's brutal. Like today, though, it's beautiful. It's like 59 and it's really sunny. But we've got, we're kind of in a drought, dude. So Anchorage typically gets a lot of rain, like Seattle area. Mm-hmm. It just doesn't come at the same time. And we just haven't gotten shit for rain, man. It's really
weird. Looking at the weather pattern, especially up there in Alaska, dealing with it work and stuff like that, just seems like nothing's really moved, and
Yeah, it's so weird, man. It's just so weird.
You get the central part of the United States, and you get all these like high amplitude jet stream storms that are like up in like North Dakota, South Dakota,
Yeah.
Minnesota, Iowa, stuff like that going on right now, which is typical this time of the year. But what
Yeah.
happens is, like during we had some storms down here in May, but it just seems like the jet stream pattern was a little bit further to the north. La Nina was like a double year of from last year and this year with La Nina and stuff like that. So which is rare to have 2 back-to-back years with that. So once the heat gets turned on down here with a big upper, you get these big upper level.
Is Oklahoma? How is it when it's super hot there in Oklahoma? Is it humid or because of the wind? It
depends. It really depends. If you get a southeast wind, it's pretty moist.
Okay. So if it's coming from like Texas, it's humid.
Yeah, like today it's really humid and it's and then there's sometimes we have the drought. We have a pretty good drought, and they have like different levels. Of severity of the drought. D1 is like your least severe, and D4 is pretty severe, and you pretty much got all levels in Oklahoma. So what happens is
what does that mean? So that it's specific to the area is what you're talking about. So if it's D1 in one area, it could be D4 in another area, though.
Exactly, and
wow.
You go out to the west side of Oklahoma, it's a lot drier. It's a little bit higher elevation, but you have more of a canyon. You have a different type of layout of the land. So, some of those areas don't really require too much rain as much as like the eastern side of Oklahoma. So yeah, the drought levels are different, but
they do have a lot of farming in Oklahoma, right? So
but they do up in the Panhandle. They do stuff in the Panhandle. They also do some stuff. It's mostly
so they need that rain, right? Or I guess they probably irrigating water and stuff, but like it's helpful to get additional rain.
There's a fine. I mean, you look at the watershed right now, and you can definitely tell where the rain has been pretty dominant on the eastern side of the state this year so far. And while the western side has had some rain, just the fact that it's so dry that you get some dry air, and a little bit of weather 101. You get drier air, to the west, and the dry line fires up. The dry line progresses a lot quicker when it's drier. So if you have a lot of rain, which is say a ton of rain in the state, then your ground vegetation, your low level ground vegetation moisture a little bit higher. So the mixing of the dry line is a lot different, and that's when you have the big storms fire up to the west of Oklahoma City. But right now,
like the tornadoes and stuff.
Tornadoes
and stuff.
And
okay,
exactly. And the thing is, it's like ideally for a massive setup for like let's just say central Oklahoma, when you have Oklahoma City in the target, you need to have the dry line basically stall out 60 to 70 miles west of Oklahoma City and anchor down, and then as the cold front's progressing from the northwest, you get that point right where the dry line and that cold front mix. And right when that happened, that's where you get
the tornadoes. But that's I know that is part of Tornado Alley and stuff. So that's typical. I know that those are typical a certain time of year. Did you grow up in Oklahoma?
No, so I grew up in Minnesota. And,
okay. But you guys get tornadoes, and you're used to the cold too. I think Minnesota winters are more brutal than Alaska's, depending on where you live.
Because, and as a kid, you really never, you looked forward to, we looked. It's like the fall time. We played football and had a good time, but we knew that the winter was coming. But then when the winter was coming, we knew that when winter was there, it was like, is it going to be a bad winter? Is it going to be a fun winter? What's it going to be? And a lot of times up there, there was some brutal winters. Don't get me wrong.
Oh yeah,
there was a lot of times.
Sure.
It was fun. They were good winters. But
hey, Joe, I got a question for you though, specific to my show. Did you play hockey growing up?
No, so that's a sport that I never really got into.
Being from Minnesota, I'm surprised.
And the reason why is that I played pretty good competitive baseball. And
well, that makes sense. That makes sense.
We basically redirected a lot of the family funds to my baseball instead of hockey. Was probably
hockey's expensive too.
Back then, you're looking at like I grew up in the '80s, and so I was 10 years old in 1986. So right there,
we're about the same age. We're about the same age. Yeah.
So the Pee-wees back in the day, and you look at obviously with the changes of inflation these days, and I couldn't even imagine the cost.
Yeah, it's probably about $2,000 for new gear now. If you buy like I was looking at top of the line like CCM skates, I wanted like $800.
Yeah, we had a guy that we grew up with. You can look him up. His name was Reg Berg. He was one of the best hockey players in our high school. And our high school had, Reg Berg. He was a pretty big name. He went to the University of Minnesota. Went to like professional hockey when he was in high school and all that. But
yeah, he sounds like a hockey player. They call him Red, huh?
He was actually not an heir, but inside of his family was the owners of Bauer. So he basically had all the top of line equipment. You know, the teams were able to get equipment at like the most reduced rate. And, but Bauer was a big, you know, obviously they merged. I think they merged with CCM back in the day too.
Yeah,
but,
Bauer's still around. Yeah,
Bauer's.
I think CCM and Bauer. CCM's still around. CCM's still around. Yeah, there's still some of the bigger true hockey. There's actually a lot more. There's actually more. I think Nike owned Bauer for a while. I don't know if that's the case now or whatever, but they're still the big time. There's a couple of. I wished I had them in my head, but there's a really great YouTube channel dedicated to like hockey gear, and they review it and stuff.
Yeah.
And the guy, it's a black guy, and he's British.
Yeah.
He sounds British, so it's awesome, right?
We would play boot hockey, you know, and in the street, and we'd have a good time. And we would go and try to find some really good Easton, you know, hockey, you know, sticks, you know. And we were finding, you know, back in the day, it was like right when the graphite started coming out, and because everything was like wood. For hockey sticks growing up.
Yeah. I have a wood Lanny McDonald stick autographed up here. You can't see it with this camera angle. I don't know if I switch it. And I'll raise the camera. Let's see if I can raise it and you can see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, there you go. You can see the top of it right there. Okay. That's the back end. Yeah, it's actually my wife's stick. Because she's a big Lanny McDonald. I don't know if you know or familiar with Lanny McDonald. But he was a big time hockey player in Canada. He had like a big red mustache and super nice guy. I think my wife met him at like these old timer games. They used to come to Alaska because she's pretty much from Alaska. So she grew up here. So yeah. So what brought you? Well, we don't have to get into it, but it's excellent.
I'll make it simple. You know, I went to the Navy at age 18 and went to my first duty station was Guantanamo Bay.
Okay, wow.
I was a weather observer there, and then I went to Antarctica.
Oh, man, cool, man. You've been to Antarctica. That's cool, man.
And then I went to
that is so cool.
Yeah, and then I went to a mobile environmental team out of San Diego. And then I went to Texas. And, you know, when I was in Texas, met my wife and at the base there and got out and did a couple of odd and end jobs and then got into this job in 1990.
How many years did you do? How many years did you do active duty?
8.
So, Joe, I just met another guy, Bolt Dad. Shout out Bolt Dad on the Shakedown Sports Podcast, the other podcast I produce on. I never promote on someone else's show. So it was very hard for me when I'd be on JB's show and people were like, you should have your own show and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, yeah, okay.
But I thought Wido was doing stuff too, you know.
Yeah, but JB said he didn't care. And JB he's actually, I missed it, but yesterday, Thursday, he was on Wido's show.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, I missed that. Yeah, good for Wido, man. And then shout out JB for going on his show. I want to have JB on the football show, the Shakedown Sports Podcast. So I started working with these guys. Good dudes, man, like full on adults, like just, and they were like, yeah, we've had this podcast for 8 years. And I go, why aren't you on YouTube? I go, you guys are good. So I was like, dude, I will produce the show for you.
There's so much content room right now in the world. It's like, you know, me and another guy from my work were thinking about going and driving around Oklahoma and playing little municipal golf courses, kind of, you know, documenting everything that we do.
You should, Joe. You should. And here's another thing.
There's so much.
Sorry to interrupt. Tampa won 2-1. Series over. We'll see Tampa and Colorado. Game 1 starting Wednesday. I can't wait for the hockey season to be over. because summertime is for fishing and, sun's out, fun's out, guns out. I want to be out paddleboarding on the lake, brother. So,
yeah, we got kayaks.
Congratulations to Tampa Bay. They just made their 3rd straight Stanley Cup final. And
Yeah.
we will appreciate it like 25 years from now. Okay,
I got into like watching hockey back in like the early 2000s, and then I kind of just went. Never really got into it. Barry Melrose talked the whole time. I was like, ah.
Yeah, so Barry doesn't call games anymore. Barry's a very old man now.
I do like.
He still works for ESPN. He doesn't do a ton for them. They're Steve Levy and Mark Messier and Chris Chelios are there. I'm not disappointed with ESPN, but I'll tell you right now, I actually think Turner's doing a better job.
One of our it's funny that you're wearing that shirt. One of our neighbors growing up was Dino Cicerelli.
No shit.
Yep.
Wow. So you grew up in Minneapolis, St. Paul. Yeah, Dino Cicerelli. Shout out Dino. Played for the Capitals.
Yeah, we were there when Madonna was rookie season.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
That's crazy, man.
But Dino Cicerelli was living in the northern suburbs of us. Yep.
So I wanted to tell you, Joe, since were so gracious to talk about your past. So when I went to basic training in the 90s, 96, I was at Infantry Basic, Fort Benning, Georgia. This was not long after the Oklahoma City bombings.
Yeah.
And Oklahoma was the first state in the U.S. to give 100% tuition to their Guard members. What they figured out was basically the universities could write these off anyway, right? Especially if they're a state university. But sorry, somebody texted me and I get text on the show. Anyway, where was I? I apologize. We were talking about
tuition from the school.
Yeah. So Oklahoma was the first state to give 100% tuition to their Guard members.
Yeah.
So if you were an active member in their Guard, like you just showed up to your drills and did your annual training and stuff, you could go to college for free. So like 3/4 of my platoon was all Oklahoma Guard, like from the state, not just from like Oklahoma City. But I got to know a lot about Oklahoma for like 2 months, right?
Yeah.
And so I met some great guys from there, man. And I always thought Edmond was a place I would go. I cannot remember the guy's name I went to boot with. But his dad was like a colonel in the Guard, so he knew he was a smart guy anyway. Like he knew he was gonna go. So.
I was in when we were at my duty station in Fort Worth. It was the first time we've had like interaction with like reserves, and we'd have reserve weekend, and we'd have the weather, reserves come in and do weather observations and do some forecasts and stuff like that, and we train them a little bit here and there. But there was times where like me and the civilian forecaster that was working there, we'd just be shooting crap. And one of the Guard member chiefs came over. She was like really upset. She's like, "Hey, I think you guys need to watch what you guys are talking about here." And I was just like, I looked at her, and at the point I was just like, this is our office. Like we don't go to your house and tell you what to talk about. Obviously we're not talking about anything but like sports. But she was like so upset about it, and I was like, "How are you going to come to our house and tell us what to do?" It's like
I feel like we have a thing in society today where people are very into themselves.
Yeah.
But I also feel like we have this thing where it's like we have too much overreach, like other people telling other people how they should live their lives. I don't like it. I feel like it's like just let people do what they want to do as long as it's not interfering with you.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, like we have this.
Well, I've learned too that
Well, Joe, let me give you this example real quick. We live on this lake. In the pandemic, they didn't have lifeguards. Well, people came out and fished, right?
Mm.
So Hugh has a question in the chat, and we'll get to it. But like the year that they didn't have the lifeguards, we didn't have a fucking problem on the lake. We didn't have people fucking doing dumb shit or nothing. Now they're back, and the fucking guys out here it's like I gotta listen to this cocksucker on a fucking megaphone all day. Excuse my language, Lost Joe. But it's like I don't need to hear it. You know, like you don't have to tell me that I need how to live my life type thing. If somebody wants to fish in an area close to the swimming area, don't worry about it. If somebody wants to swim out of the swimming area, don't worry about it. You got your back, Joe.
That's good. I feel like AJ Hawk every time I fall off this thing.
Yeah, that's okay, man. Don't worry about it. So Q, I am not old enough for Mogadishu. I came 95 was when I delayed entry in. I think Joe is around my age, so he is also not old enough for Mogadishu.
I went in 94.
But I did go to Kosovo, just 9 years after I wanted to go. Yeah, he goes, those guys are like 59 now. Yeah, I ain't that far behind. I just turned 45. Shout out 45.
Well, one thing was with, when you first go in and you're 18 or something like, I was 18 and I couldn't imagine doing 20 years when I first got in there.
Yeah.
And then and at 38 years old, I was like, that would have been 20 years.
Yeah.
And I was like,
no, yeah. So Joe, I was kind of in the
38.
same boat as you, man. What happened was I got out in 2000 and I joined the Guard in January of 2001.
Mm-hmm.
And 9/11 happens and we start getting mobilized. And I kid you not, I think my unit is doing their 24th deployment in the last like 22 years. Like my guys just got back, the one I wished I was with. But I don't regret retiring, man. Like sometimes you just got to go, yeah, I'm not where I want to be. I got my 20. It's time to go.
Well, I'll tell you,
I got out and kind of had that break, but if it wasn't for deployments, I didn't actually go back into full time until 2006. So if I had, I'd have been 38 or 39 because I was 19 when I came in because I was an older senior, But I'm with you, man. Like I'll tell you, I don't regret it. I'll
give you a quick testimonial. We had obviously the AG rate, which is the weather rate for the Navy. They went through a period where they were really top heavy.
Yeah.
And so the multiples for the testing that we would do, we would basically take the test, and then when we put our evals and then
what'd you do in the Navy again?
I was a weather.
Oh, cool. Is that what you're doing now? Is that what you're doing now?
Yeah. I'm actually I do forecasting for commercial shipping companies around the world.
Oh, awesome, man! That's really cool, man. Oh, I imagine dude. So when you talk about the weather, man, like you're really talking about the weather. I was like, damn, he knows a shitload about Oklahoma weather. This is good.
Yeah, stuff. About 27 years now, but they so obviously being young, I really didn't do too much with
Doggo. Gotta love Doggo. That's awesome.
Yeah, they're fine.
I love dogs. Dude, I have 3 dogs. I love dogs, man. Love them. Hey, you know what? Hey, Joe, I can tell you, I feel like I've arrived because I'm getting I'm getting spammed by the porn chat.
Hey,
the porn chat you see in every live stream.
They saw your beard, man. That's what it is.
No, I mean like everyone I'm in now, I see it. Like everyone, and I report it as if you're in a chat, by the way, YouTube viewers,
But every year I take the test, and every year my multiple number would be way below the E6. I was at E5 when I got out. E6 line, and so I decided, why not pay attention this time? And so in 2001, I decided to really put the hammer down on the book and everything, and I scored a multiple that was about 60 points over what my previous 2 were before.
Right.
And
you still couldn't get promoted.
So the 14 years before that, the multiple number was like 160. And it was like that was the most it ever got to. It was like 160. It ranged from like 140 to 160, and I was hitting like 120s and 120s. Well, I hit a 175, and the multiple there was 186. And I was like, why is that? And they said it was just the fact that it was too top heavy. And I'm like, what?
Yeah.
For the last 14 years,
the Army active duty was the same. Here's what I'll tell you: in the Guard, you apply for your job, and it's usually like E5 to E7, and you top out at E7. E8 is control grade, so it's a lot harder to get promoted to E8. But I retired as an E7, and I'll tell you what, Joe, I think you made the right choice, because I think if you get to that 8-year mark and you're like, I don't want to do this, it's not my blood, get out. I mean, if you don't want to go over 10, but you can join the Naval Reserve right now, do 12 more years as a reservist, and get a retirement. Like,
yeah, once I started thinking about getting out and everything like that, that was the E6 number was that was the rank that I basically said, if I pop this thing on this test, because I got one more test before I'm actually supposed to get out.
right.
If we do hit this one, me and my wife decided, if we do hit this one, we'll stay in.
Right.
And obviously we didn't, and so we looked at different options, and I ended up doing what I wanted to do anyways in my life and do weather.
So
But one thing
Army doesn't have weather. We have flight operations, but we don't have weather. We get our weather from either the predominant Air Force or Navy, depending on who. And I think Marine Corps has their own weather too, don't they?
And I love doing the weather in the Navy and stuff like that. And then all of a sudden, like I got into start thinking, and some of the forecasting I was doing was for tactical stuff. And I want to do weather to help people, and that's why, another reason why I was just kind of like, there's no point of doing this anymore, And so when I had the chance to help out, get back in the weather and help people again, that's why I got back in the weather. But one of the major reasons I got out is because I didn't feel like doing, missile strike forecasting, I knew I had to do it, and I would do it because basically it'd be my duty, but I just didn't like it morally.
Hey, before I let you go, Joe, I was just going to say, don't give up on doing that golf thing with your buddy. I mean, obviously you got a career you enjoy, which is awesome. You got a great family. The other thing I was going to tell you, because I see it on your shirt, I don't know how many YouTubers are talking about PBR, pro bull riding, and that you're a big rodeo guy.
Well, we got this a long time ago. We went to the rodeo, and I just had to go get a T-shirt. But we're looking at going to see more rodeos, little small rodeos here and there.
Yeah, there's not a lot of people covering rodeos, man. And I'll tell you what, man, I grew up in Montana, and I remember my grandma took me to my first rodeo, and I was like, I don't want to go to a rodeo. Like, I knew what it was. I seen a rodeo on the movies with John Wayne. Oh no, rodeo is awesome. I love me some rodeo. I become a country bumpkin with some rodeo, man. I love that rodeo.
It'd be nice. I'd like to try something different,
They
are never really something I was ever really in. I enjoyed going and watching it.
Oh, you just had the shirt. Okay, I was just curious. Yeah. You don't have to be. I'm not trying to make you a dedicated rodeo fan. We have one rodeo up here in Alaska. I haven't been to it since I've lived here because I don't really care to go to the fair up here, But I have to get back out there. Yeah, Hugh. By the way, Hugh, thank you for the compliment about 37. I appreciate you, man. I've been shedding the pounds, my friend. Yes, rodeo is, man, I met a couple rodeo guys back when we actually had a Western bar here. And not that I'm not really even a country music fan, honestly. Yeah. I like some older stuff, but if you want to meet girls, it does not hurt to learn how to dance. And when I was younger, I would go to AK Corral, they called it. And
obviously back when I was in the Navy and we went to these bars that were country bars. I'm in there with khaki shorts, like sandals, a polo shirt. I'm that guy.
Yeah. No, I never wore cowboy boots, man. I had them when I was a kid. And they hurt my feet. And I was just like, I don't need these. I'm not putting them into stirrups. So,
well, hey, man, I really appreciate you letting me come on the show.
Oh, man, Joe, thanks, man. I really appreciate you coming on.
I had a chance to watch a little bit of it today, here and there.
Did you see my movie? Did you see my movie list?
No, I'll look at it.
Okay, no worries. No, because it's not everybody's gonna look. Oh, it's your top 5.
I'm wondering if JB's gonna let me on.
I love.
There
were just 5 movies I loved. I just wanted to talk about something other than sports, the whole show, and I wasn't sure if this game was gonna be on or it was gonna be done or whatever. So, but hey, man, I really appreciate
you. Shit about weather sometimes, I should shit whatever.
Oh, but Joe, I want you to come on, man. DM me on Twitter at @beard_sports. And I want to exchange. And then, hey, I did get all my slapdick stuff, by the way. It all came in. Nice. So I know, I got my shirt and hoodie somewhere. I'm
trying to come on his show again when talking about
Pat I was Perez. On Wednesday. He's on a roll, man.
I think his boy Pat Perez is he's making a short-term decision, but it's not gonna end well, dude.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Here's my thing.
It's AEW, man. It's AEW.
Well, it is AEW to some extent, except for here's the difference. AEW is owned by, like a business 3 times more successful than the WWE. You know what I'm saying? If we're going to make that comparison when it comes to wrestling.
It's 100%. And you're going to get all these you're going to get all these ex PGA guys, WWE guys.
So Joe, I think if you asked me this question a year ago, I'd be on the side of the PGA. I think the reason why I have issue is I've gotten to know, like, if you hear JB talk about like Pat Perez, you go there, you miss the cut, you're out. You don't make any money. You're not in the money. Yeah. And I kind of, I'm starting to associate the PGA a little bit with like the NCAA, where these fucking people have gotten wealthy off the backs of these players for years and years. And you know, look at all these people have jobs, and Ryan Whitney talked about it. Shout out Ryan Whitney from Spit Chicklets podcast. He said, I love golf. I love watching it. I'm going to learn how to play. I have never played. I'm taking lessons. I'm hopefully going to be playing, and I want to play. Mm-hmm. And I think you should do your show about you and your buddy going to the municipal courses. I want to learn so I can go on your show and do a double thing with your show and mine. Be awesome. We're just out there having some fun. Yeah, I totally want to do it. I love it. But what do you care about? I care about the Masters. I care about the U.S. Open. I care about the British Open or the Open, whatever they want to call it, the PGA, and then, you know, whatever. There, you throw in the Memorial. I love the Waste Management. I'm trying to go next year to the Waste Management because I want to go.
I mean, it's a new toy. It's a new toy. There's a lot of good concepts with it. I like the smaller schedule.
The guaranteed money is cool.
I like the smaller schedule because I don't think the PGA needs to have a tour event every single week because you can take sponsors.
I actually think that hurts.
You can do up sponsors, you know, in two events instead of one and bring up the purse. You can minimize the field. You know, a small field, no cut.
Yeah, well, or don't have cuts. I mean, I get it. I just think, like, I feel like it doesn't mean, look, I'm not, like, saying the live golf thing is correct. And, look, everybody can say what they want to about Saudi, but, like, the U.S. does business with Saudi. We sell them arms, yada, yada, yada. Yes, I know 15 of the hijackers were Saudi. Yeah, I know. I get all that.
We're still doing business with
Manchester United was a dominant team when I was growing up, and Manchester City wasn't in the Premier League, and then like the Saudis bottom, and they're one of the best teams ever, and they're going to probably win it all again next year. And I'm just saying, like, people forget they're in soccer, they're in all these other, they're in F1. Look, I love F1. You've been watching all the F1 shit on Netflix, Joe? Have you watched that shit?
Yeah.
That's good shit, right? I mean, they got shit in there. It's like, okay, man, like at some point you got to be like, but people are allowed to make a living.
Yeah, okay? But you look at like Pat's situation. Pat Perez is a great golfer. Don't get me wrong. He's a professional, good golfer. But he's not main tier. He's not competing. Yeah,
but if he gets $3 million, Joe, if he gets $3 million guaranteed in 1 year, just let's say that's what they give him. It costs them. That's nothing to them, by the way. That's like $3. But Pat can pay his place off in Scottsdale. Probably he's probably set.
Well, think about it.
Like Justin Johnson got $100 million just to play. On top of that, he could win additional money. And everybody's like, well, Justin Johnson's won $40 million, blah, 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 and with endorsements, yada, yada, yada. Okay, but like Dustin Johnson also has to pay for all that stuff. And if you just compare like the top golfers to the top,
there's nobody. I don't think anybody cares about just the. I think the people care about is where that the origin of that money fund. If you really look at
I got you, but I'm saying like they're involved in so many other sports. Why are we hearing it now? Where's the outcry for Manchester City? Where's the outcry for F1? Where's the outcry for that other stuff? It just feels very selective, Joe. That's all I'm saying.
It's AEW, man, and that's what I tell people all the time. It's gonna be the point where like all these new guys come in, and then there's always like no name guys that are doing really well. You see these guys, you know, that you're like, who the heck is that guy? He's like fifth. But then all of a sudden, all these names start coming in, and all of a sudden it's like, well, you watch AEW we're only going to put 48 in the tournament because we're going to have this big shotgun start. So who's our top 48? And all these guys that are trying to, all these college kids that decided they wanted to go over there to make the money. Yeah, and are doing pretty well.
Yeah, so I agree with JB. So here's the thing. I agree with JB on the transfer portal and stuff because I think it is like, but I also like, here's my thing. The coach could leave. The coach could take a better job. The coach said blah, blah, blah. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm like, well, you got to let the kids go.
Yeah, but there's
but it's wrecked now, right? Okay.
Portal's got to change.
We always knew it was a business. Like there
should be a committee. There should be a committee that allows entry into the portal instead of like you put your name in there, you just automatically get put in there. And the majority of those kids don't find another place.
Well, here's why I said just let the boosters boost. and make it legal because it should be legal anyway. And here's why I say this, because if a booster gives you $1 million to play at UT, let's say, that booster probably going to hold you to it and you ain't going to take off and transfer. So that fixes the transfer.
Well, here's another thing too. If you get an NIL deal, then
but that's not tied to the school.
But listen, you have to report that. You report that to compliance in the school. Now, what I would do as a program is I would say, okay, this kid is making $4 million NIL deal. He does not need an actual scholarship. He can be a preferred walk-on.
Right, and they could scholarship. And I think if they work it with the kid and they could charge him like no tuition or whatever.
And that way, there's no liability. So when
I got
school early or transfers, it's like, well, he owes a school.
Well, they do. I mean, you saw that kid from Texas that signed that deal, that big NIL deal, and he signed with Ohio State. And then, as near as I could tell, he's not there. He left. Did he go to A&M?
No, he's at Texas now. He's a starter.
Oh, he went to UT. Okay, I did. You're down there, man. I don't understand how the Texas colleges. It sounds like A&M's doing their pretty good job now. But like, how do they not recruit well from their own state?
Well, the thing about that kid is that at the time, high school kids were not allowed to have NIL deals. That changed already. So that legislation down there changed. The idiot governor down there changes everything. But basically, by going up to Ohio State, he didn't have to deal with like mainstream media or like all the people getting mad that he left Texas to go get, basically sit on a bench but make a lot of money, when the whole time he told people the whole time he was going to transfer right back down to UT because the amount of NIL money that was going to be promised him once he actually turned 19 was astronomical.
So let me get this straight.
He hasn't even touched the ball yet.
You have to be 19. Yeah, I know he didn't play it down for them, from what I understood. I thought that whole thing was weird. Okay. Yeah. Wow, dude. Okay. Well, and Texas, I actually like Steve Sarkisian. I feel like, the guy had an alcohol problem. Who hasn't? Right? Yeah. I mean, like,
you coach college kids back when you had to keep watching them from not getting money. Now think about now.
Oh man, dude. But you know what though? It's just going to justify these coaches making more money. So they can cry about it. But Saban makes $10 million a year. In 5 years, top college coaches are going to make $20 million. You're going to be grossly compensated. I don't feel a fucking bit bad for him.
You go down here in the dorm.
I mean, I do feel bad for the JVs of the fucking world, the guys coaching JUCO and. Well, dude, I'll tell you, like, we're seeing this. You talked about, I'm glad you brought that live thing up, honestly, because you know what? This is what's happening in college football, too. The money is coming in now. Now, legit, right? It's always been there, but now it's like, hey, we can funnel this to the people we want to get the money, right? So, like, I heard, like, there's some big time schools like San Diego State and stuff that if they may need to find a home. Because I think we're seeing these super leagues form, and I actually think it's what's killing it is the mid ones. The Division 2, the Division 3s, and the JUCOs will always be around. I think JB thinks those are more dangerous, but I actually think some of these like fledgling universities are in trouble because, especially the like not state ones, right? Like San Diego State is a state college, but California is a broken system. Everybody knows it's fucking horrible. They got the worst taxes, some of the highest crime, but they do have the 5th largest economy in the world. So there's jobs abundance, right? But you can't fucking afford to live there anymore. Yeah. So yeah, it's just one of those things. But yeah. Hey, I'm going to end the show, man. I really appreciate you coming on. I saw Logan Hackett.
Give Reggie Bush his Heisman back. Come on now.
Yeah, right. I agree. Yeah, I agree. Right, hey, Joe, you're the man, dude. DM me on Twitter, and I definitely, if we have weather, I want to do a weather show where we talk about weather and how it impacts sports. And I want to have you on, dude. That would be awesome. Like, because we talk on the Shakedown Sports podcast. We always talk about how horrible the Giants field is because they did the old turf thing again. And I said I don't understand why grass isn't mandatory. That's why concussions and all these knee injuries are up. Everybody goes, oh, it's because they don't allow them to tackle properly anymore. No, if you tackle properly, you're still hitting the guys in the right spots. It's just they play on this like that's what happened to Odell. In the Super Bowl, he takes on the brakes, and it's that hard. I took a tour at Dallas Cowboys Stadium, And I was like, holy shit, I would never want to get tackled on this. You know, like an infantry guy, you're running in the woods and you drop. I stop. He sees me down. I'm stopping. He sees me down. You're fucking PLFing on like logs and shit. And I'll just tell you, like, at that football field, I was like, I'd rather go do PLFs in the fucking.
With the amount of technology these days, I'm amazed that there's not enough. You know, people say, you know, the field turf, synthetic stuff. But there's so much, the rubber on some of these fields now, you almost bounce. I mean, it's so soft, you know, so.
Yeah.
I feel like it's getting better. I mean, I was in the Metrodome playing baseball one time, and if you remember the old Metrodome days,
yeah,
basically a carpet, you know.
And
you'd fall down on that, and you're hurt.
Yeah. Well, shoot, I remember the Twins winning some World Series. Didn't they play in the Metrodome too?
Yeah, I played a couple games in the Metrodome playing baseball.
Yeah, that's cool. Wow, you played some high level. So did you play like AAA and stuff?
No, just high school and a developmental league.
Oh, okay. You didn't go to college with the ball, huh?
No, I wanted to go to college and be a meteorologist, but the only place I looked at was St. Cloud State.
Okay.
And they didn't get. I didn't look around, and that's the place I wanted. I didn't want to go to Wisconsin. I didn't want to
check out Bemidji, man. I got my first optometrist in the when I was an airborne infantry guy was a guy named Captain Sin, and he got out and stayed up here, and he's still an optometrist, but he's from Bemidji State.
Well, after my first 4 years, I actually was getting ready to go and get looked at by Northwest Missouri State because my cousin went to college there, and I went and visited her, and I went out there and just practiced with them just because I was bored one day, and her cousin played on the team, and coach was like, "Geez, you're in the Navy?" Yeah. So I almost tried to do that one, and then
yeah. Did the Navy have a team too?
Yeah, so the Navy I played softball in the Navy, you know, because they didn't really have a baseball team in the Navy. So they had base softball.
They had an all-Amy softball team. That makes sense.
Yeah, and I tried out for that. I didn't make it, but you
didn't make it? Probably
I tried out for it in San Diego.
How was the adjustment from baseball? Because you played high level, like you were trying to play college. So like,
it was just it was good for me. I was fast, you know. Yeah. Obviously, you know, when you pack on some pounds, I didn't have any power. Like I got more power. But
you were a hit it around the park and get on base guy.
Yeah, I was outfield. You know, it's like when I first I told somebody I was like,
you're a 1-2 hitter. You're a 1-2. The unique
my first base. Yeah, the first base I went to in Guantanamo Bay, I got asked to go play or got picked up one night, and the following night and for the next year I was starting, you know, the leadoff guy and playing in the outfield. I was like one night changed. I was like, okay, I guess I'm gonna play some softball now. And I just went out there for one game. And ever since then, I played. You know, if I only played that one game, I probably wouldn't have played softball in the military. You know?
Oh, no kidding.
But I played like 29 games in the summer.
Dang. That's cool, man. That's cool. That's so.
But hey, I know it's like, you know what, 4:00 in the afternoon over there.
It's 7:15.
It's 7.
Yeah, I gotta eat dinner, man. That's what it is.
Yeah.
But hey, I appreciate you, Joe. Thanks so much. Yeah,
thanks for the invite.
Like I said, reached out on Twitter. I definitely want to. I'll give you advance notice, and I'll DM you the link. So I won't throw it in the chat. I didn't have a guest. I couldn't get a guest. I tried to get a hockey guy, and he wasn't.
Well, maybe available. Sometimes if there's like a really bad storm system up there that's going to affect little Alaska, I'll get on there and throw some knowledge at you.
Well, so dude, I worked in emergency response towards the end of my career in the joint operations. So I'm very familiar with dealing with earthquakes and shit like that. So I'll have some real questions, and we'll have some real like stuff we looked at on on the screen. A lot of the stuff we looked at is stuff that's available to the public.
Yeah,
that you can go look at. We didn't use any thank you, Logan. We didn't use anything, like top secret. Like our fires thing, anybody in the state can go look at all the active fires that are in Alaska right now. Let's hope there's less. But yeah, I mean, 1 year when I was fighting with the Guard, we had a 387,000 acre fire up here. Like, this is massive. And like, nobody was affected. Like, they were able to like keep it away from people's houses and stuff. So pretty awesome. Like amazing firefighting coordination. So,
yeah, and you get to and weather-wise, you can just forecast what the weather,
Yeah. So my big thing is like like with, most of the NFL teams now like play indoor, but like, so weather isn't as big a factor, but like, Minnesota used to play outdoors. The year they were in between, they played at University of Minnesota, right? Didn't they lose a game because they were playing outdoors? Didn't the guy?
Yeah, it was the kick that Blair Walsh banged to the left side.
Oh man, brutal. Vikings. I just saw a thing though, like the most winningest NFL teams in the last 40 years.
Hey, watch out for them this year, man.
Are you a Vikings fan? Is that your team?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Die hard. Yeah.
Yeah. So I really like Thielen. Jefferson's a beast. I just don't like Kirk Cousins. I think he's a jackwagon. I don't know.
If you look at his efficiency, go efficiency numbers.
Yeah.
He's basically Trent Dilfer for when Baltimore did.
Right, but Trent Dilfer had like the best freaking defense in NFL history. What'd you say?
We have a buddy of my daughter's is the field goal kicker for the University of Arkansas, and he's like the sophomore this year, and he's already ranked like I think 4th in the nation.
Oh wow! Well,
so
he's going pro.
Yeah, Cam Little. So I would not put it past him to go to the Vikings, and I would endorse it very heavily.
Oh man, that would be cool, man! If you got a family friend on your team.
Yeah,
I was telling you, man. Like Joe, I was kind of rooting for like JB's kid to get drafted by the Giants. I was like, I'll take, because I thought Kayvon Thibodeau would be gone. So I was like, I'll take.
I wanted Stingley. I mean, I thought Stingley was going to last, but I mean, he went like 3rd or 4th. So
I think really he went 3rd. He went 3rd. He wasn't even projected to be the first cornerback, actually.
Yeah, that's who I wanted the Vikings to
play. He's a good.
He's a stud.
Dude, I think you guys will be fine, though. I actually think that coach is a pretty good coach.
We got Patrick Peterson back, which is good, and then Danielle Hunter's coming back.
Hey,
so I think
my boy Nacho don't want to hear this if he watches this. Nacho from the Shakedown Sports Podcast, who's a Packers fan. I am a little concerned about the Packers. I think their reign of terror on that division is going to be over.
Here's my bold prediction on that. I think they're going to just pick a day, and they're just going to sign one of those guys, or they're going to make a splash and go get DK Metcalf. I think that's going to happen before
they have to.
Because they need a wide receiver.
They gotta have. I mean, you cannot tell me they won't miss.
I think they go get DK Metcalf.
And I was saying, we were talking about this on the show the other day when we did our AFC West thing. I saw Rodgers throw to Devontae Adams like 12 times in a double coverage, and it was like on the dime, and he caught the ball. So, like, that kind of stuff, if you don't have that guy that can make that fucking play, like, I just wonder, like, how they're going to bounce back, Man,
it's Aaron Rodgers, man. I give him the benefit of the doubt. even though I hate the Packers, I still think he's one of the smartest quarterbacks out there. So,
yeah. No, I mean, he's so accurate.
Even outside of the Pat McAfee show, stuff like that, and all that, I still think even before.
I always liked him.
I respected Aaron
dude,
Rodgers.
And I'll tell you what, he got railroaded for not getting the vaccine. I think, though, partly because of how he worded. I think if you'd have just said, no, I'm not getting the vaccine, I think they would have left him alone because Cousins didn't get a vaccine. Never heard shit about him. And I was like, here's the thing. Look, I got the vaccine. Okay, got it. I was in the military for 25 years. I got injected with so much shit.
That's what me and my wife
I was
said
like,
too.
whatever. I
got the anthrax shot. That's enough said.
I got the Moderna. Whatever.
Yeah, I got the anthrax shot in the military. That's
enough said. You got anthrax. Wow, I never got that. Yeah, but if you didn't get it, I don't care. It's your decision. I grew up never getting vaccinated. And I think I got measles, mumps, and rubella when I was a kid. And then, like polio and the stuff they used to do, right? So
my wife's Stephanie.
Hi. Hey, Stephanie. My wife's name is Stephanie, too, actually.
Oh, that's fun. How are you?
If she could pop in here if she wanted to, but I doubt it.
Probably not, because I'm about to bow.
Oh, no worries. It's nice to meet you, Stephanie. That's
nice
awesome, man. That was nice to meet your wife, Joe. Cool, man.
Yeah, definitely.
Oh, hey, yeah. So I know we've been saying goodbye, man. I'll let you go and have a great Saturday night. I really appreciate you coming on, man.
Great time.
You're kind of my second official caller. I'm going to call you. I got Ray Bro I got to give my guy Ryan Tubeck. He came on the show. He's like, "Oh, I'll talk to Jeremiah online."
Yeah, I can talk a lot, but I mean, hopefully I can spit some knowledge sometimes.
Yeah, no, I love it. I want to have you back on. I definitely want to talk about weather stuff and how it adversely affects us day to day. Like my show doesn't have to be, but we could talk about sports stuff too, man. It'd be really cool. So, all right, my man, take care of yourself. All right,
you have a great night.
Hey guys, I really appreciate everybody sticking around and chatting with us. Was really great to have Joe on. Have a good one. We'll see you next Saturday.